Look at the big lad with the Forsaken. You gotta love it. How can you not? And then we have all the spooky things in the woods. Here we go. Another good match in the SFT. The one that I enjoyed. We got Anticity versus Blue Ot. We'll just call him Blue Eye Ot. Or we'll just call him Blue Eye. Or we'll just call him Blue. How about that? Anticity versus Blue. Anticity is... he's 200 IQ. He just knows this matchup. He knows how to do it. And a lot of players who struggle, Vamp VC, struggle against Nurgle. This is how you deal with it. You don't bring the trillions and trillions of zombies and try to outgrind Nurgle. No. You play the mobile game. And this actually works on a lot of the Model God... Well, some of the Model God factions. I would say Zeech and, maybe even Khorne. Maybe even Khorne. Zeech, Khorne, and Nurgle. Where you have this monster mash and try to deal with it that way. Maybe not so much. Well, it depends on your build. Zeech can bring a bunch of blues and pinks, so a lot of your stuff has weakness to fire, a lot of your stuff doesn't have armor, so what do? You either bring knights, or you bring Graveguard. You say, screw all the zombies, and that's what Anticity does here, and he tries to, especially with the, because one of the zombie lords, vampire lords, my bad, he can do basically what is a Tempest ability, and tries to own the skies against Zeech. Here with Nurgle, Anticity has gone with the ability minus 20% Fizz Res, minus 40 melee defense, and minus 25% speed. I think that's what it was, or 24, one of the two. And he's got this big death blob of whites, or just SEs and Cav, and he's styling, he's memeing. And I think this is still winnable by Blue. All he has to do is really just kite everything here. Just kite them. Back them up with like a knight unit or something like that, maybe a rot knight if you could, and just work it that way. Like these Forsaken need to just go. They need to run the opposite direction. Force these units far away, take your Marauder Horseman onto his home objective, and just keep playing the points game. Because eventually he's going to summon a shit ton of units, and I mean Anticity, and park them on that side of the field. Or he could do it on his home objective. Wherever he does it, it's not going to be where the Great Unclean One is, that's for sure. So, retakes this, no problem. But he's left the Mortis Engine a bit vulnerable. That's where the Marauder Horsemen come in. I do like this pickup more, if he does get to pick him up, more than taking the home objective. But like I said, it could just be too much here. I think just not playing the Nurgle blob game is a bit of a mistake, and splitting up the Great Unclean One from your other forces just leaves you vulnerable to getting caught up. We'll see if it works here, though. Blue, though, doing blue things, just getting ready, building up. I don't know about bringing in Nurglings when you see all this. I would have saved up for some, like, I don't know, anything that can kill SEs. Good stream of corruption so far. The Goo's coming in. He's retaking the home? No? Yes? Yeah, he's taking it. Good. And just... I mean, it looks like Anticity's setting up, so I think those Marauder Horsemen could try to keep hitting that. I don't know if Anticity's doing this on purpose, just trying to tease with that Mortis Engine so the Knights can countercharge the Marauders. But we'll see, we'll see. I think it's a good idea. Not too bad, but here comes the big push. Looks like Anticity's going for the Great Unclean One. He's going for the home. Yeah, the Great Unclean One just should not be out like that. And this is a mistake a lot of you players can make if you're not paying attention. And kudos to Anticity for pretty much saying, you know what, it's either Kugath or Great Unclean One, right? Anyone who's ever played this matchup always sees it and they're like, how do I deal with it? Here you go, here's the answer. Here's a good answer. This is something I had to deal with one time, but as Zeech. And I actually did the changeling into Kugath, but Kugath couldn't be everywhere at once, and he just played the mobile game. And I couldn't be had all the points at once. And this is why speed is everything. And GG's, goodbye. Minus 45 speed. Oh, it's even worse. El Sif. Yeah, he's just gooning this Great Unclean One. Blood Knights. Yep. None of that's gonna save this thing. Man, it is so brutal. Kazak's not gonna be able to save it. None of this. Yeah, but it's not the end, folks. You'd be surprised. Blue Eye, even though losing the Great Unclean One this early, Still, if he picks up the Mortis, it kind of it doesn't even out, but it's definitely better than nothing, you know? And he's kind of triple capping, and there's some Knights over on the side. He's got Marauder Horsemen trying to clean up this Mortis, which looks like it's not doing as good. It's doing just as good as the Great Unclean One right now. Anticity's just trying to rain down. I mean, once they clean this thing up, what's left, right? Just a bunch of Marauders, Forsaken, and Horsemen. Nothing that can really deal with a lot of the heavy armor. I don't see any great weapons, and look, 1,000 zombies descend, well not 1,000, but you know what I mean. Oh, hundreds of zombies descend upon the second objective on the side here. And here come the Toads. Toads are good. Will they be enough? Well, let's see. Mortis Engine should be dead. I don't know why the Marauders with throwing axes aren't. Oh, that's why. They're running away from the dogs. Still, I think just like, you don't have to put all of them. You can just, whichever one they're chasing, send it that way and send the rest back to the Mortis Engine, which I think he's doing right now. Alright, here come more of the Knights, and I think once they get on here, it's gonna be goodbye. Yeah, Anticity just doing it. You guys, you can't, don't let him get away with this. Don't. Oh, the man and his debuff spells. Gooning people's lords like a monster that he is. Kudos to Blue Eye actually keeping it together. I mean, a lesser player like myself would have definitely just... I mean, in this FFT, I did kind of fall short. But this is a good matchup for Nurgle. Usually it's a good match for Nurgle. I think it's like, even though it's new stats and Nurgle's bottom tier, Vampire Counts are high tier right now because all the good players like Anticity are playing them. Nurgle can win this. But when you got builds like this, it's like you just don't know. When you got players that are just playing builds that you don't see coming, this is what happens. You're ill-equipped, unarmed. I think some of you guys need to start expecting it. Angels of Decay, a bit late. Very late, actually. They would have been great while that goo was sitting there getting surrounded. Because those death heads they have a spread shot, so they're basically shotguns in the sky, shooting those cannonball skulls into those big massive SCs and cav units. So yeah, I think I would have preferred if he called this out way earlier. Might have actually been able to save the goo, and I'm surprised this Mortis Engine's a bit alive. I think that's a big blunder right now, because now all those units, those SEs, those cavs are healing up. No Dragon Lord, no problem. Just a bunch of whites and the Red Duke. And a bunch of cav. I really like this Anticity build. I would not be surprised if people start trying to pick this up and start using this against Model God factions. Especially Khorne and... yeah, pretty much everything but Slaanesh. I don't know how you deal with Slaanesh. Slaanesh is just so good. Because they can do everything that Anticity's doing, but better. They can debuff. They can force engagements. They're fast. They have poison. Although not heavily armored, but they definitely hurt on the flank. Yeah. Here comes Furies. I don't dislike Furies here, because they can actually do some work into the Blood Knights. And you'll see what I mean in a second, because he's about to descend these units, and if he doesn't, that's a bit of a mistake. Yeah, he sees the Black Knights over there, and then these Blood Knights are going to get caught. So even though the Furies don't have AP... well, they do have AP, and they're not AP heavy, but there's still enough of them, and they have enough fast enough attack animation and melee attack that they can do some serious work into these Blood Knights. I mean, look at that. Blood Knights with their 41 melee defense. Really, it's 35, I think, if they're getting hit in the flank. Or 36, my bad. But even with that, that's, I think, going to be GG. It's 16 to 12. A lot of Blues units are about to go. And yeah, I don't really see how else this is gonna go down. Yeah, the Fears are gonna get picked up. Angels of K can do some work, but really, are they gonna be able to hold? Probably not. Those zombies are gonna stay alive forever and just box out whatever's trying to come that way. And Anticity can easily go for a triple cat with Blood Knights and Black Knights just on the home. Kazak got resummoned, I believe, and he's duking it out with the Chad Vargolf. And more Blood Knights are coming to surround him along with the White Kings. And I think, yeah, that's gonna be it. Someone's gonna tap out here soon enough. And the fact that it lasted 10 minutes. Although this game was over, I think, 3 minutes ago. I think losing the goo was when it was over, honestly. But still, it's a good showing of both player skills. And yeah, don't be surprised. The goo, surprised it doesn't pay for itself, but well done enough. Yeah, it was really relying on, Blue was really relying on his Marauder Horseman there. Yeah, I'm surprised. Cultist Nurgle? I understand why you bring it, but I'm not really the biggest fan. Understand Kha'Zix as well, so he can duke it out with White Kings. Understand the goo, but yeah, it's rough. It's rough for Nurgle right now. It's sad days. But even though it's sad, guys, if you liked the video, please like, sub, follow me here on YouTube. We're on the road to 2,000. Come join the Discord. Come join the SFTs on turns. Show some love on the stream and all that goodness. Alright, with all that said, y'all have a good one. Peace and goodbye for now.